Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my Jay Bird. And I have another one with the one square Nightbird. And let's get down to it. I'm in white. And this is called One Square Nightbird Reverse to Bot 2685, Game 50. And yes, I did use the arrows, but I pick and choose the arrows the way I play the game. And the way I play the game. This is the way I would play. Now, let me say something real quick. When I was little, trains used to stop by. We used to go walk down to the river, and we lived out in the suburbs. But there was train tracks there, and trains used to stop, and all the time. And then he'd always do this where they'd stop, and then he'd step on the gas a little bit, and then quick stop, and you'd hear all the carts going, ching 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 ching, all the way down to the caboose. Literally hundreds of cars, and sometimes it never got to the caboose. And we were in the front one time, in the middle, and at the end too. So we knew how it worked. And one time it didn't get to caboose, he said, and yeah, it didn't touch the caboose. And he checked it too. There should be a space there. But then he didn't check it no more because he knew what it was. There was another way to check it. And sometimes, most of the time, the train would leave like seconds after that. And what happens is, when the train left, as we were walking away, you heard the last ching on the caboose. Said, there it is, he says. What? Oh, now I know what he meant. Then we used to have a game with it. It would do it, and it says, oh, that's a five. He'd say that's five cars, and we were right there at the end. I said, no, it's four. I heard it stop right here. The sound stopped here. And then we kept walking, like where we're going home. There it goes, and then I listened to the chings. One, two, three, four. Yeah. And then he said, oh, yeah, you're right. It was cool. We had fun with it all the time when the train do that. So you know how many times when that, I don't know what that's called, but this is the same thing in an opening. It goes and it performs and it goes all the way out to the end. And did you get all the cars touching in where they connect? All right, let's get on with this. E3, D5, D3. Now, my this is the best way to perform, you know, your opening, and not just one. I mean, you can do it. What happens is, if you could do it with one, you got time to do it. Let's say they're not pushing all these pieces down, then do with one. You save yourself and get some more moves in instead of using two pawns right away. But it gets tough as it gets going here. After D3, E5, 90 up, E2. The start of the Nightbird one square reverse, because we're doing the Nightbird in this one square. After E2, C6, G3, H5, E2, and here comes the hero. Look at this. This don't work. Matter of fact, this cost him the game in the end. After E2, H4, F1. Now, the one square Nightbird reverse is done. Once that knight came over here and the bishop came up, I could go into Nightbird reverse. I was thinking about it. But I said to myself, you know what? I just want to see how strong. I want to tie one hand behind my back and play this game of chess with my brain. So I'm going to tie one part of my brain back and play this game. After F1, H3, pass, G3, F6, C3, E6, B3, castle, B2, B8, A3, and look, no, 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 look, jump into this and perform this like you're some kind of superhero, tactical, crazy. No, 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 no. This is not the way. You got to play your pieces. You want to play your pieces, man. Who wants to just jump in that and get a headache? After A3, D6, B4, A6, B5, takes B5, takes B5, C5, D4, B6, A4, E7, C3. See, I want to play with my pieces. Look, it's still not quite locked, but you can still, there's plenty here to get to work with. There's C3, takes D4, takes D4, F5, A5, takes D4, takes D4. I chose this way. I chose the arrows. I wanted this way. Now, if that rook would have been here like 5-6 moves ago or something, and things were a little bit different, I probably would have went into the Nightbird reverse on top of that. The one square Nightbird reverse I did, but then go into reverse Nightbird too. I mean, it's possible, but looking at the way it was, now, after D4 takes E6, yeah, but now it's too late. You want to go and do that. Now he's pinned the king. Well, you should have thought about pinning the king with the rook back here a long time ago. After E6, A6. And I watch that kind of stuff now. After A6, E4, F3, C2. Okay, we'll trade. Take C2, C2, E3. Now I use the knight. And look, it kind of almost went a Nightbird tower here. See, his problem was, if that rook would have been there, it probably would have went in Nightbird reverse over here and finished it. And then imagine it. I didn't even go over there. Imagine if I would have had that over here yet with these pieces. But I chose this way, E3, G6. This is a variation. Takes B7, takes B7, castle. Look at him and look at me. And even though we're even in pieces, after castle he goes A8. No, I'm not taking it. I go here C1. I had some other ideas to do something here. I had this idea, something with this. I'm not sure what it was. Maybe a check and then move this over, something. He takes A1, I take A1, he goes A8. I said, all right, that's it. Take it A8, take A8, king up. Now he loses his pawn. B7, F1, F5, G4, D7, takes H3. And even though he was up a pawn, but because the game played the way it played, now when this all falls, he loses. Check this out. This is another thing. After H3, G6, F1. He's on pawn islands. I have 3 connected. He has 2 separate pawn islands, and they're still not chained. After F1, G5, king up, G3. He goes F5. Got to take it. F5. Take F5. Of course I want to trade. Takes F5. Takes F5. He's only got 1 pawn over here now. 2 bishops. G2. A7. F4. Of course I want to trade. If I take that, I got to pass pawn. After F4, B5, A1. He passes G4. He's trying to prevent this pawn to be a pass pawn, but no good. After G4, I take D5 with a check. I mean, he didn't want me to have it. Well, I guess he had no choice. See, that pawn, that pawn cost him. If he would have never did that and had that pawn, probably would have been a drawing game. But because you forced me to do what I did over here, you lost the game. See? After D5 takes B6, G8, D6. So I'm saying what happens in the beginning actually could cost you at the end that far. After D6, D5, C5, E5, E4, takes D6, takes D6. Of course, I like trading it all down. I'm on a white square here. That's defendant. I got 2 pawns, and this one's about ready to go. If we trade, he's done. After D6, I take G4. He goes C5. I don't know what he's trying to do here. I really don't. Because I really believe if we would have traded, my king would have ran this way, and these pawns would have ran this way. You know what I mean? After c5, takes c6, takes c6, f5, and now he just lost the game. d7, g5, takes f5, takes f5, and he just lost the game. d7, h4, e8, h5, f8, f7, e7, h6, d7, h7, d7, h8, c7, f6, b7, d6, c8, c6, d8, b6, e7, d5, e8, b7, d8, f6, e8, and that's game. Okay. And now, but this is just one variation. There's, like I said, there's lots of variations, you know, to this game. It's just, it's bananas in my opening here, my theory. This is what I'm saying. It can go. Okay, here's the one square. He goes here. All right, fine, good. I was really thinking about doing this, but I didn't want a castle. I didn't want a castle. I guess I was doing it because I didn't want to ever think I have a castle, because with this pawn here, you don't want to be back here with your king. So the whole time that was running through my head. And it wanted me to keep going over here. I said, I know this. I know this. I know what the knight by reverse is. I know. That's not what I want. I want to work on this side over here like this. And the game goes like this. And it worked out just right to do this and then get in here like this. Open him up. All right, then I did castle. All right, I'm sorry, but I did castle now. But there's no threat. There's no threat here. But that queen, now, but now I did castle. I went here. I didn't take because I didn't want to. See, here's the thing. If I take, he takes with the rook, and I run the rook, and he takes, and then I put my bishop, I'm losing tempo. Instead, he loses tempo. He's got to go back. And that pawn was dead. Nothing he can do about that. And that was his fault from the beginning, trying to play like a hero. And me, I want to trade pieces down. I'm not. Nope. Let's do it. I got to still save the bishop. He just wanted to save the passed pawn. What can he do? If he tried to do something else, then he's not saving the passed pawn. That's why he had to pass. You see what I'm saying? When it went here, if he would have did something else, he can't save both. He's either I'm passing or he loses. Well, he lost the pawn. That's what I'm trying to say. He played hero with that pawn. Basically, that pawn made the difference, because there's no way. And that cost them the game. The game goes like this. So it's true. And there you have it. Thanks for stopping by. And we're going to have one more for you in this little mini series of One Square Nightbird.